Ron Mitchell, a man you've heard on the radio, you've seen on TV in the studio, and all around Colorado. Ron started preparing for TV very early.
I built a little TV studio down in the basement with cameras on little tripods, little dollies kind of things. And I had a good friend or two who played with me, and this was in junior high school.
Ron started in radio in 1960. Chick Crabtree hired him at KICN to do 6 two-minute commercials from movie theaters. His next stop was KOSI. In April 1960, Ron went to work for KMOR Radio in Littleton for Bob Martin, Tim O'Connor, and Bob Rubin.
That was one of the best times I ever had. I was married while I was there. Got married to Judy.
He stayed through December of 1961. He then joined KBTR. An opportunity to become a program director meant a move out of Denver. He joined WKYW in Louisville, Kentucky, then moved to WRGM in Richmond, Virginia as program director.
And in 1969, there were 300 job applicants, I'm told, and I was hired to come back to KBTR. Carl Akers hired me. They were all news at that time. They had an opening for a sportsman on the weekends on the television side, which was just across the hall. I tried out for it, and I got it. And then they had an opening for a reporter. At that time, I think there were only 5 reporters. My first story was January of 1971. I went out to the National Earthquake Center. I talked to the man in charge, whose name was Major. You don't forget a name like that. Tom Baer was the photographer. They had a huge globe, and I was able to point to where the ring of fire was in my stand-up. Being a general assignment reporter is exciting. You may cover a kindergarten graduation and go straight to carrying a tripod up the side of a mountain at a forest fire. That's exciting. It was fun. When I was in radio, I used to tell my wife that this is too easy. This isn't like a real job. It's fun to go to work and all that. Sometimes you wind up with a story or two in a row that take you 12, 14 hours a day, maybe even longer. The first time I came home from work after working 3 or 4 of these days in a row, Judy says, "Now do you have a real job?" Not long after that, I did the weekend anchor work. I did backup work for Len Sanner. I was the backup anchor for Len when he got sick. And I was an assignment editor for a couple of years. They took me off, and Roger Ogden, as a matter of fact, did it. He put me in the position he had held in the newsroom.
In 25 years at Channel 9, Ron became one of the station's most versatile field reporters, covering the news of the day.
Kids say once they got to school talking about the problem and facing it directly, the walls between them came down.
Investigative reports.
This book is sort of like the Bible for investors in Denver International.
And lighthearted features.
Ron, I don't think you're going to make it. You look pretty good to me, but I don't think you're up to the par of those that you're talking to up there.
Bad form, huh?
He was a key member of the 9 News team that dominated ratings in the Denver market.
The teamwork involved in television news is overwhelming. Photographers are such a big part of every story you do. And if you're doing a live shot, the live truck engineer usually gets to the scene first. We were a team from the word go, like that.
He also passed on his knowledge of television reporting, teaching aspiring journalists at his alma mater, the University of Denver.
Anything's possible with a live shot. You tell them who, what, when, why, where, and if you don't know why, you say so. You can't get in trouble doing that. But a few words can say a great deal. And if 1 out of 20 of those people are paying attention at all, it's worth doing well. So I was never a highly paid anchor. For heaven's sake, there was no shame in being a general assignment reporter in one of the top 20 markets in the United States. You never knew what you were going to do when you woke up in the morning. That was the fun of coming to work. I tried really hard every day. That was my goal.
He is the first Hall of Fame member inducted primarily for his abilities as a general assignment reporter.
That was my primary job in broadcasting. I feel like I did it well, and I'm very flattered that my work is being recognized.
The broadcast professionals of Colorado welcome Ron Mitchell into the 2012 Hall of Fame.